Astros take on the Chicago Cubs. Good evening, everybody. Bill Brown and Jim DeShays. Jeff Bagwell will join us later. JD, the Astros have a chance to extend their winning streak to 5 games. That would be their longest since the 08 season, if they get it.
Dominant pitching performance last night from Felipe Paulino. They'll be looking for the same tonight from a well-rested Roy Oswalt, ejected from his last start early in that game. Didn't throw many pitches. Let's take a look at Roy versus the Cubs in his career. No secrets between Roy and the Cubs. 30 starts now in his career, 14-12. 3.67 ERA. Actually has a losing record against the Cubs here at Minute Maid Park. He's 6-7 despite a 3.08 ERA.
As the Astros try to beat the Cubs again tonight, they have had a good homestand. In fact, already their most successful homestand of the season. Last at bat heroics. We'll see what they do tonight against Ryan Dempster in just a moment. And 18 now in their home ballpark this season. And they take on the Chicago Cubs for the second time in this 3-game weekend series. Lou Piniella's starting lineup is brought to you by Capital One. Ryan.
He was ejected and worked 2 1/3 innings, allowed 4 hits, 4 runs for the season, 3-7. Despite a very good 2.78 ERA, it's been tough to hit. League hitting just .217 against him. Struck out 72, walked 20 defensively. League more than
Jeff Bagwell joins us for Game 2 of this series, a Saturday night home game. That means we get the expertise of the Astros' former first sacker.
Yeah.
And you're laughing about this. You're straight from Mexico, right?
I am. I just got back.
Okay, that's fine. You're fresh for this game. Fly ball by Terrio to the right fielder, Hunter Pence. You got to like that start, Baggy.
I do. It's good to be back here, guys. I missed the last time we were home. We didn't have TV for the first time in a while, so
that's right.
It's good to be back.
I think our record with you is pretty good this year.
Well, I was surprised. I actually missed Felipe pitch, which normally I don't. He's always pitching, and obviously he did another great job last night. So I'm happy for him to get that finally get that first win. And the guy that's 1-7 with a 4.05, that doesn't happen very often.
Good point. Tyler Colvin is next. Good-looking young hitter, taking strike one. 293, 5 homers, 13 runs batted in, 600 slugging percentage for Colvin.
Fairly right-handed lineup for the Cubs again tonight.
Hit over Carlos Lee, gets back, and it's off the wall in the bullpen area. Colvin in with a double, and that's his 7th double of the year.
It's a tough one right there, huh, Jimmy? That kind of gets in that little corner right there where you're just not sure what exactly is going on when you get back there.
Yeah, you're kind of your hands are tied. You don't know what to do. Do you start to backpedal and try to play a carom? Do you continue on into the corner? I guess the worst possible scenario would be to go into the corner and then have the ball hit off the wall and kick back in towards the infield.
Yeah, you see a lot of guys sometimes they play right on that corner of that wall, to get that kind of angle. But obviously with Roy with his velocity on his fastball, I think Carlos is playing a little bit over towards the corner. But that's kind of a tough play. That's not an easy play for anybody back home to kind of get a feel where you are in that ball.
Derek Lee with a 1-0 pitch coming.
Carlo keeps looking back at it as if he's been betrayed by that wall because he's learned to play it so well.
Line to short, and Colvin took off, and he's doubled off easily by Tommy Manzella on a 6th unassisted double play. No runs a hit, nobody left, no score. Astros brought to you by Capital One. It's Michael Bourne on a 6-game hitting streak, leading it off in center field. Jeff Kepinger's at second base. Lance Berkman plays first base with the cleanup man, El Caballo. Carlos Lee in left field. Hunter Pence is in right field. Pedro Feliz at third base. Tommy Manzella shortstop. Humberto Quintero the catcher for Roy Oswalt.
Ryan Dempster brings a 3-5 record to the mound tonight. 3.72 ERA. He's lost 5 of his last 6 decisions as a Cub in his career. A break-even 40-40. Fastball, slider, split finger pitch, and all kinds of funky stuff going on at the start of everything for him.
Well, that's his whole thing where he's trying to not tip what pitch he's going to throw, so he's trying to mess around with that glove the entire way to not give the hitter any idea what he's going to be throwing.
Michael Bourne takes that one. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Michael, during his 6-game hitting streak, has hit .364. Had a 3-hit game last night, his first of the year.
Now, when you faced Dempster back in the day, was he doing this? Had he started doing this? This is the last couple of years.
Yeah, this is the last. Actually, just since pretty much he's been coming with the Cubs. So obviously somebody picked something up and said you're tipping pitches. I wish I had known that he was tipping pitches back then, but I did not know.
Is that an issue for a hitter? Is that disconcerting if you're facing a guy who's doing that?
No, not really. It really doesn't bother you at all. You just go in there knowing that he's not going to tip what pitch he's going to throw, but that doesn't bother us at all.
Leadoff walk. Bourne's 26th of the year. Gives the Astros an immediate base runner for Jeff Keppinger.
Well, here's the defense for the Cubs tonight. Soriano has some issues in left. Burton, Colvin cover center and right. Castro, Brownie talked about him. Good-looking young player. He's the shortstop. Terrio slides over to second. Boy, he'll get to start behind the plate tonight. And the veterans Lee and Ramirez man the corner.
It's been a good combination at the top for the Astros with Bourne, the running threat, and Keppinger, the good bat handler. Keppinger 299 with 19 runs batted in. He's on a 6-game hitting streak. Bourne takes off. The throw from Coy Hill is over the bag, but not in time. 19 steal from Michael Bourne. Baggy, it's really nice for the hitter when that guy can steal on the first pitch.
Oh, there's no doubt. Puts him in such a different mode now where he's trying to get the guy over. Kep, he's so good at handling the bat that he's not going to try and give himself up. He's actually going to try and get a base hit over here to right field to drive him in at the very least to get him over to third base. So it is great. I was very fortunate in my career that I got a chance to play with Craig Biggio, and I watched him do that for years and years and years. I'd watch him steal second on the first pitch, and then he was still third on the second pitch. And all I had to do was hit a ground ball or a fly ball. So it really helps the hitter out a lot right now.
1-1 for Keppinger. And he's hit very well against Dempster, 476 for his career. 2 balls and a strike. The Astros offense has been much more productive the last few days. And that's gone into the 4-game winning streak and a 4-1 record on this homestand.
Sure has been fun to watch. I've been down there doing the game casts and all that kind of stuff. To see a couple hits by all these guys every single night has been fun to see.
Ground ball to the shortstop, Castro. Bourne goes to third on out number 1. Yeah, they've been able to put together some nice at-bats and make the pitchers uncomfortable, Jeff.
They sure have. And let me tell you something. That was a great at-bat right there. If we can look at that again, you'll see how he insides out that ball right there. He hit it to the shortstop, which is probably not where he wanted to hit it. But yet he did a great job of keeping his hands inside. See how he keeps his hands inside there to make sure that Michael can't get over to third base. So that's a great at-bat by Kep. Now he makes Lance's job very easy.
Corner infielders come in tight for Lance.
As I say that, it's not really ever that easy.
Well, he's been sizzling lately. There's ball 1 to him. 4-game hitting streak for Lance and 359 over his last 10 games.
Well, Lance wasn't going to hit 220. I promise you that.
58% of the time he's delivered that runner from third with less than 2 outs. What do you think is a good percentage for a productive Major League RBI man?
Wow.
100.
Jimmy, I would. If I'm hitting, I want 100%. But you got to be in the 75, 80%. I would imagine of getting guys in because right here, Lance. Generally, the only places he doesn't want to hit it is to the pitcher, the third baseman, and to the first baseman. If he can just hit a ground ball up the middle, he's going to get the run in. So I don't know. This is your money time right here when you're a productive RBI producer in the big leagues. And this is how you make your money. You go in, you drive in these runs, you go back, and we're up 1-0 to Roy in the second inning. So
looks like they're being cautious here with Lee on deck. Dempster may be thinking about a double play. Dempster's a guy who's never really given into hitters anyway. He's not afraid to walk people. Get in there. We've watched him a lot over the years. He's kind of like Roger Clemens in that sense. Roger never wanted to give in. If he fell behind, he'd just continue to try to make his pitch. If he lost it, he'd go after the next guy.
Yeah, Jimmy, Roger used to always say that too. I don't want to go after the big part of the plate right here. He didn't want to give in, as you said.
Ground ball at the middle, 1-0 Astros on the RBI single by Berkman. Nice sharp hit for RBI number 26.
An RBI for Berkman, and just a pat on the back to Jeff Keppinger for getting Bourne over to third base. Won't show up in the box score, but a big part of the equation there was Keppinger's at bat.
There's no doubt about that. And you know what has to happen? Lance, I'm sure will do this. He'll come in the dugout after this and say, he'll come over and he'll pat Kep on the back and say, "Hey, way to go, bro. Thanks a lot for that one."
Me up, yeah.
Sorry about your 0 for 1, but I appreciate you doing what you're supposed to do for our team.
Carlos Lee on a 4-game hitting streak. Checks in at 216 for this game. Now Bourne gets a walk, a steal, and a run scored. Berkman gets an RBI single. Keppinger gets 0 for 1.
It's a dirty job, that 2-hole hitter sometimes.
It really is. It really is.
Pence on deck.
It almost looks like Corey Hill's using a knuckleball glove. Isn't it a big mitt he's got back there?
It sure does. All broken in and flopping around back there. If I was a catcher, I'd need one of those too.
Yeah,
that's what Biz should have used. I told you I'd get him in every single time I'm on here.
He started out with a compliment. Line drive goes foul. 1, 2.
Got to touch him up a little bit.
You have to.
But he's the coach of a state championship winning team now.
He sure is. I'm proud of him. Proud of him and the kids. They did a great job to win that. Was it 5A, right?
It was the Taps 5A,
yeah.
I believe. Yeah. Upstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It's interesting. I was talking to Bob Brentley, Cubs color man, before the game. I said, anything new with Dempster? Same old stuff? He goes, well, pretty much the same old stuff, but he will pitch a little bit more at the top of the strike zone, more 4-seamers up.
The roller goes foul.
Well, there's the old adage right there. You just throw a neck ball at somebody, and then all of a sudden you get the slider away. But Carlos, being a great hitter, can foul that ball off.
Carlos with 2 homers, 9 runs, batted in his last 9 games. At 1 and 2 in the count. His second walk-off homer of the year.
Since I've been gone, you guys have had some fun games here, huh?
We have.
And the National Series was crazy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of goofy back and forth stuff going on there.
9th inning excitement.
Right.
And, you know, with the 3, 4, 5 hitters picking up the pace, that's made all the difference in the world.
Well, we all knew that. You know, once these guys start getting going, then we're going to have a lot more fun here.
Sometimes it just takes a while. Doesn't go according to the calendar. In tight. Now 2 and 2.
There's another fastball in, so what are we looking for here?
Yeah. Pitching 1-on-1, right? Hard in, soft away.
Yeah. So actually, he's set up for the fastball in.
Yeah, if he's peeking away and he doubles up in there, he could jam him.
Dempster pitched a good game against Wandy Rodriguez in Chicago back in mid-April, giving up 1 run in 7 2/3 innings. Got a no decision. He's 32 years old. Carlos tried to check, but he went around. Alan Porter with a call, and that's a strikeout for out number 2.
There's a whole lot of movement. Yeah, I guess he did.
Yeah, that was a ground ball to short if he hit that. But I feel you, Carlos. Been there 1,000 times.
Hunter Pence has raised his average to 275. He has 9 homers, 26 runs batted in. So 386 in his last dozen games. Pedro Feliz on deck.
And Carlos is convinced right now that he did not go until he got back to the bench and he looked at Sean Berry and said, "Did I go?" Yeah. But a good hitting coach would be like, "No way, man, you didn't go."
I didn't think so.
No, I didn't think so. It could have went either way.
We'll look at the video later. Still talking about it.
I'll say he's still asking about it.
Do you like the way
he's talking to Sean?
You like the way Hunter's choking up? Seems to be choking up a little bit more, Jeff.
He sure is. I've been noticing that a lot lately too, Brownie. I think this year, and I haven't talked to him really since. He went to a bigger bat this year, like 34 and a half, like 34 ounces, which is a very big bat in today's game. I like it, you know. And so now he's probably swinging at 32, really, with a lot of density. So I kind of like it. What I've noticed too is he's kind of looking at the pitcher a lot more with both eyes instead of just one. And I think that's really helped him out a lot.
Yeah, he's trying to get that back eye to work for him a little bit, and that may help him recognize the slider.
Slider, right? Exactly right. So he sees it. He'll see the hanger more than he'll see the really good slider. That's how you lay off it right there.
3-1.
That's what I noticed when we played Milwaukee. Ryan Braun got both eyes
looking straight at the pitcher.
Yeah.
Would you say most major league hitters have better than 20/20 vision?
Oh, I would imagine so. They better. Trying to hit a baseball is not a very easy thing to do, so I would say almost all of them, Brian, they probably do. If not, you know, obviously they have contacts. Now we have LASIK, which I did in 2000, which helped me out a ton. You know, to see a breaking ball or a fastball with the amount of time that you have, you better have some good vision. I'll tell you that.
Absolutely. 3-2, 2 outs. Berkman will go. Bouncer to second. Serio goes to lead. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 left for the Astros. They lead it 1-0 after 1.
Night giveaway link, guys.
Great play by Tommy Manzella, diving up the middle, and he retires Marlon Byrd on a spectacular effort.
An awfully pretty play by Tommy Manzella. And the point we make time and time again, a pitcher works quickly, throws strikes. Guys tend to make more plays behind him. And that's just a sweetheart by Manzella. So Oswalt has made 6 pitches in this game, and he's got 4 outs.
Now it's Aramis Ramirez, hitting only 158.
That is shocking to me. This kid's a good hitter.
He's been 100 RBI, guys, several times in his career. 6 times in the last 9 years he's driven in 100. Sitting on 20 right now. 1-1.
You can tell by that swing right there. He's just not feeling it right there. There's no conviction into swinging at that little slider right there. And that's what happens when you're in slumps. You get that 1-0 slot, or excuse me, 1-0 slider in a great spot like Roy just threw it, and you just got no chance. And right now he's feeling defeated. Here he really is. Now he's 1-2. So slumps are tough, and he's got 171 at bats already too. So that's not like just a few.
Last night he made an out with the bases loaded. Final out in the third inning. Fouled out on a 3-1 pitch against Felipe Paulino, who's throwing very well.
Ramirez, a lifetime 282 hitter, hit 317 last year, 289 the year before, 3 times. So he's been the model of consistency over the course of the last 8-9 years. And he's only 31, so it's not like he's an older guy you think might be in decline. And when he first came up, he looked like he carried a little extra weight, but he's in great shape.
Yeah, he almost looks thin right now.
Probably not eating in this funk that he's in.
No, yeah. He goes home, he's stressing all night. He can't even get the pizza done late at night.
2-2 for Roy. He's 14-12 against the Cubs.
Oops.
That'll jump. Home run Ramirez. That ties at 1-1 on number 5 of the year. That's his 5th career long ball against Oswald.
That tells you exactly. I know nothing of what I'm talking about. But he was in a hole.
But what it tells you, though, is that a major league hitter, especially one with this guy's resume, is always dangerous.
I agree with you, Jimmy. And I remember back in, I think it was 95, and I was struggling real bad, and they asked Greg Maddux one day, well, what do you think's wrong with Bagwell? How are you going to pitch him differently? And they said, it's still the same name on the back of the jersey. It's not like I'm just going to give in just because he's struggling. People, they're dangerous. These guys are proven. Year in and year out, like you just talked about, he's had great years.
Yeah, when a guy's got a body of work like that, you tend to look at the whole body of work when analyzing him as an opponent as opposed to what he's doing this year or in the last couple of weeks.
2-0 to Soriano.
I wonder what they were thinking when Albert was hitting, 250 in May? Well, let me go right after him.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Ball goes foul, 2-1. Soriano's on a 4-game hitting streak. He's had a nice start to his season. He leads the club in homers. Well, he hit 6 in May to lead the club and drove in 16, so coming off a very nice month. Soriano pops it up. Keppinger.
Jimmy, you got the numbers here. What is Soriano? What is he? How many stolen bases he had the last couple of years?
He got 9 last year. The 2 years prior, he stole 19 each year. 19 in 07, 19 in 08. The last big year he had stealing bases was 06. He stole 41 that season.
Wow.
He was in the 40-40 club that year. Starlin Castro, a rookie at age 20, taking strike 1.
Age 20.
How about that?
Yeah.
He has arrived very quickly from the Dominican Republic. Played A-ball and double A-ball last year. 0-2. And his first major league game brought him 6 runs batted in. Most for a player in his big league debut.
Big swing.
Hunter Pence over near the line and right. Foul ball for out number 3. Ramirez hit his 5th home run to tie it 1-1 in the 2nd. Here's a look at who's been hot this week in the majors. Nick Hundley, 579 for the Padres. Robinson Cano is lighting it up for the Yankees. The Astros will be there in a couple of weekends. Well, next weekend, in fact. That is Troy Gloss, Felipe Paulino, Billy Wagner rounding out the hot players this week. Brought to you by Ford. Now we go to the bottom of the second inning. Pedro Feliz on a 6-game hitting streak. Paulino with a big win last night. And asking the skipper about him tonight before the game. Well, once again for the second straight game, he threw about 120 pitches last night. Exactly 120 last night. Can you keep going that deep with him into games? He said, we talked about it today. He and Brad Arnsberg. Fly ball by Feliz goes to center field, and Marlon Byrd puts it away. And he said, the most innings Felipe's ever pitched is 133, and we've got to watch that because he's halfway there already. Tonight's broadcast is on AFN, the American Forces Network, broadcasting to the U.S. Armed Forces, serving in 175 countries and aboard ships at sea. They're watching around the world in Iraq, Germany, Italy, Southwest Asia, South Korea, and Japan. Welcome and thank you for your service. Tommy Manzella, the batter. Jeff Plum played short last night. Manzella looking at strike one. Has a 200 average with 1 homer, 8 runs batted in. Bill Brown, Jim Deshaies, Jeff Bagwell with you tonight, and happy to have the troops watching. Manzella goes around, and it's 0-2 to Tommy. And Ryan Dempster is one of the leaders of this Cubs ball club.
That was Tommy right there. He didn't see that pitch.
And he struck out.
In Tommy's defense, Ryan has a great slider. He really does. He always has. Ever since he came up when I faced him, he does have a great slider. I don't know if some of these, I wouldn't say shadows, but it's kind of light in some part out here, and it's kind of dark in another. I don't know if that helps out a little bit, but he does have a good slider, and when he buries it in the dirt like that, it is a tough pitch to lay off.
You can see what Jeff's talking about there with the different coloration on the field. Dempster threw 34% sliders last year, more than any other National League pitcher. Alberto Quintero, the batter.
Over the years, he's been basically fastball slider. He has added in the probably last 3 or 4 years that split finger pitch, which I know has been very effective for him. Been a great Major League pitcher, and a lot of people don't know he is hysterically funny.
Yeah,
he is an interesting cat, boy. He's a fun guy to be around.
Into the right field corner, Colvin backing, and tremendous running catch to Rob Quintero for the third out here in the second inning. Tyler Colvin ranging deep to the corner to keep this game tied 1-1.
To do, yet I get a kick out of you.
All right. And welcome back to Minute Maid Park, all tied up here in the third. And the Astros have extended Price Matter Days presented by H-E-B. Now available every Sunday through Thursday home games. You get a View Deck 2 ticket, a hot dog, H-E-B chips, and a soda for only $10. Or upgrade to a field-level bullpen box seat for just $10 more. Visit Astros.com for tickets tonight, guys.
Thanks, Patty. Switch hitting Coy Hill leads it off in the third inning of a 1-1 game. Bunting. Barehanded Oswald. He throws and gets him.
Roy got like 6 pitches tonight.
Yeah.
20.
20, yeah.
I'm not complaining. I'm just saying.
Well, from a hitter's point of view, so you got a guy with Oswald, one of the better guys in the game over the last decade. Got good stuff. He's usually around the plate. So is the thinking we might as well attack early because if we don't, we're down 0-1?
100%. I remember facing Maddox, my entire career, and I was like, he's probably going to throw first pitch right down the middle. It's going to move about 18 inches, but it's probably going to be right down the middle. I might as well be hacking at it. He's not going to walk me.
Roll to Manzella. So that's the best you're going to see there.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well be aggressive.
And would anybody in the Cubs dugout be saying, yeah, but you're trying to make him throw some pitches? I mean, or do you just go, you got to, you're up against an ace.
Jimmy, I've never, ever been in a dugout where somebody goes, let's make him throw some pitches. Yeah. If he throws it down the middle, your best chance is to hit it. I remember facing Smoltz as a closer. Smoltz walked like 3 guys one year or something like that. I mean, have at it. I mean, even when you're down by 2, you might as well have at it. He's not going to walk you. So if you get the first pitch fastball that you like, you might as well take a swing at it because that's going to be your best chance. Certainly don't want to get him to his change, or back. Yeah, Smoltz used to throw that split finger back then, and even his slider. So,
and I'm thinking too, if you're facing, if you have against Roy, and you're thinking, well, we're going to try to make him work so we get into the bullpen a little sooner. Well, if the guy ahead of you in the lineup doesn't do it,
why am I going to do it?
Exactly.
So they go out quickly here in the third, and it's 1-1. Mack Hike Chevrolet for their support of Memorial Ashford Little League. For more information on Chevy's commitment to Youth League baseball programs, visit ChevyTexasBaseball.com. Here from Minute Maid Park, it's a 1-1 ball game, bottom of the third inning coming, and it's Michael Bourne to follow Roy Oswald. So Roy with 3 hits in 15 at-bats, trying to battle Dempster, who's thrown 35 pitches himself. He had a very quick second inning, and this game has been moving along.
Well, Brownie and Jimmy, Roy's dad down in Weir, Mississippi, still thinks Roy could hit 300 every day in the big leagues.
Okay.
So we're going to check him out right here.
Yeah. It's strike 1. Roy's hitting 200 right now.
In my opinion, that's high for him.
And he's taking. And he's behind, 0-2.
We talked about it earlier, Jimmy, kind of on the break here, about taking pitches and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, you hear about it a lot when people start talking about, well, you know, we need to make them work, we need to get into the bullpen, and that's all fine and dandy. But as you said, if I'm not the first guy to do it, the second guy's not going to do it either. And more importantly, okay, I'm going to take pitches. Next thing you know, I'm 0-2.
Right. I'm going to be the guy who's adopting the game plan and nobody else is. And I'm going to get my offer.
Yeah. I just think it's hard. I think it's hard to try and sit there and go. I mean, I know the A's have done that for years, the money balls type stuff and all that. But I just think it's difficult. Now, I'm all about swinging at strikes. You know, I'm not talking about swinging at balls. But it's if some guy's pounding the strike zone, man, you got to have at it.
And really, when you look at the numbers, and the numbers can be a little mind-numbing at times, when you look at the numbers for Roy Oswalt this year versus last, one of the big differences for Roy this year, he's continued to stay aggressive with that first pitch, but maybe not quite as hittable. Last year, he gave up a lot of hits, and that's typically the case. When hitters attack the 0-0 pitch, they usually hit for a very high average. Against Roy this year, that's not the case. Last year, it was like 350-something. This year, the last time I looked, it was below 200, which is pretty remarkable.
Well, yeah, you go down the list and you know, go 0-0, go 0-1, go 1-1, go 2-1, go 2-0, go 3-1. I mean, it'll show you how hard it is to hit in those counts, or how much better it is to hit in those counts. And I think that's what guys do on Roy. They know he's going to throw strikes, so you know we're just going to have at it at him. But I think Roy has understood that too and decided, you know what, I need to concentrate a little bit more to keep my mechanics straight, and you know, and get after that outside inside corner, whatever it might be.
Roy moved into third on the all-time game started list for the Astros with this one. Horn strikes out. That's number 4 for Dempster.
There's that split finger pitch, and it's primarily a weapon he uses against left-handed hitters. Fastball slider to the righties, and then we'll mix in the split against left-handed hitters. And that was a dandy there.
Not much you're going to be able to do with that one. No. Hopefully Michael hit it off the end of the bat and roll it down towards the third baseman, but that was a good one.
Jeff Keppinger advanced the runner with a ground out to shortstop. First time up.
That's Fox Tracks, our pitch tracker, brought to you by Jexa Energy.
Not going to do much with that pitch right there.
Hanging it right on the edge.
Yeah. With a bigger slider, almost like a curveball.
0-2. Dempster had a good month of April. 2-1 with a 2.78 ERA.
That's not good. A little time to regroup after that one. So, given all this count information, I mean, again, there's all kinds of stuff at your disposal as a player. Would there be reports in the clubhouse for you before a game that says, you know, Ryan Dempster on 2-1 throws his slider 64% of the time? Is that stuff out there? Or is that a little deeper than anything anybody could write?
I think it's a little deeper. I'm saying, I think with any starting pitcher, as you obviously would know, there are certain days where certain pitchers are a little bit better for you. And that is your job as a player, is to watch the game of baseball. So when you're watching this game, you go, oh my God, every single time it's 2-1, he's throwing a slider. Or every time it's 2-2, he's throwing a split.
Hammered to left. It stays fair for Keppinger, and he's at a line drive homer.
See, right there, he knew at 1-2 he was getting a fastball in. He was going to hit it for a homer.
Number 1 for Keppinger. First time up, his job was to move the runner from second to third. This time, 2 outs, nobody on. He hammers away.
Nobody on base. He's kind of freed up there. Just go ahead and swing the bat. Guy's got his arms full of Jimmy Wynn bobblehead dolls, and he still made the play.
First home run after 215 at-bats for Keppinger, who last connected at Cincinnati last September 16th. And that's a 7-game hitting streak for Jeff. Strike 1 to Berkman.
But it is true, and that is part of a game where you sit there as a player and you sit on the bench and go, this is what this guy's throwing. Every single time, 2-1, he's throwing a changeup. And usually it's a changeup more than a slider, or maybe it is a slider. But you have to realize those things on the bench, and you start talking to it with your teammates going, hey, man, this is what they're doing. So you know what? If you're 2-1, you still got 2 strikes to play with, you got to sell out on that pitch every once in a while. The great ones, though, they never give you a pattern.
Popped up by Berkman. Ramirez over into foul territory. And in the third, the Keppinger homer gives the Astros a 2-1 lead.
Fan of the game, and Kenny is our fan of the game. Kenny Figueroa, he won a national scholastic contest and was a reporter for a day out here at the ballpark. Hung out with me earlier. Kenny, tell us a little bit about your day and what you got to do.
Basically, my day was fun. I got to interview Tommy Manzella, the new rookie shortstop for the Astros, and also basically I saw Hunter Pence walk by, Michael Bourne. You saw when I was interviewing, just dropped dead. It was pretty cool. I got to meet Jeff Bagwell earlier. I sent the picture to my dad. He freaked out. It's been a pretty fun experience.
All right, so you think maybe you have a future in this business, maybe a reporter in the making?
Probably.
Yeah, well, I thought you did a great job. So for that, we hope you had a great day. And you are also our progressive fan of the game. And I had to tell him when Keppinger just hit that home run, he jumped up and started cheering. Lesson number 1, no cheering in the press box. You got that?
Yeah, that was a mistake. I'm sorry, but yeah, it's been a great opportunity to be here. So yeah, thanks for the opportunity. I had a fun day today.
All right, well, we enjoyed having you.
One great day for a summer.
All right, guys.
Thanks, Patty. There's one excited young man.
And there is some cheering in the press, but I don't care what they say.
That's fine for him. Colvin strikes out, and Arroyo has thrown first pitch strikes to 8 of 11 batters so far. That's his first strikeout.
Breaks out the slow curveball here to Colvin, who hit the double last time up. Gets a lot off of it, has him way out in front. He's a good-looking young hitter, though. I just really like that guy.
Derek Lee rips one. And takes a high bounce as Feliz tries to flag it down to his left. Lee lined out into a double play. This time singles.
Cubs are a lot like us a little bit right now. They got, Derek's kind of struggling a little bit, hitting 230. Ramirez is hitting 158 when we started the day off.
Yep.
It's tough, man. When you build your lineup around guys and they get off to a tough start, it's tough to get going, because then you start falling into your other guys where you're putting a lot more pressure on them to do something, and it's just kind of hard. So they kind of feel some of the same pain we felt. We're starting to come around, and hopefully in the next 2 days they don't come around, and we'll go from there.
Marlon Byrd grounded out. Manzella made the diving play on him. Rudy Jaramillo now is the hitting coach for the Cubs, and you had Rudy when you started. What did you think of him?
You know what? I've had a ton of tremendous hitting coaches, but if I had one person to go back to in my entire life, I would go back to Rudy Jaramillo. Even when he was with Texas, I would come in there, and he'd kind of wait till the series was over, and I'd come meet him in the back cage back there, and he'd kind of tell me what I was doing. pretty much knew what I was doing, but it was good for him to be there to kind of reinforce what I was thinking about.
Looping broken bat liner. Marlon Bird's hustling for second base. Hunter Pence picks it up in foul ground, throws in to Lance Berkman, and it's a double for Bird.
But he is a very, very special hitting coach that, I think he's probably the highest paid hitting coach there is in the game, and well worth it in my mind. I got nothing but great things. He turned me into basically, I thought kind of a punch and Judy hitter into a power hitter, and made me understand all that. So I owe a lot to Rudy Jaramillo, and I'm a big, big fan.
Bird had a pair of doubles last night. Now he gets his third of the series, and it's Ramirez.
I don't know, guys. Is there any report? Is Derek Lee hurting?
Not that we know of.
He wasn't running real well from first to third right there.
Could be something going on with him. Lou Piniella rested 5 of his regulars a few days ago.
Watch this. He's not running real well right there.
Yeah. Looks like he's working hard at it.
Yeah.
Such a graceful, athletic type player.
Stole 20 or 30 bases a couple years, I believe. I never got to 30, but at least 20. I know that. When he was with the Marlins.
He had, let's see, he had 21 in 03. You're right. He hit 31 homers that year, too.
Yeah.
1 ball, 1 strike. And he's been the type of hitter who can adjust to those inside fastballs, pulling his hands in.
He does. He insides out the ball very well. This is a big out for us right here. We need to get this out right here. Aramis has had some success against Roy throughout the past.
Home run was his 5th off Roy.
He's been good against the Astros over the years. Very good in this ballpark.
Yeah.
And I would imagine most visiting players like the hitting. I mean, I know they lose some balls in center field. Balls get run down there or a home run somewhere else. But I think in terms of just the hitting background and the environment in here.
Jimmy, you're exactly right. You cannot see the ball any better in any stadium in the United States. In all of baseball than you see here. Pitch.
He's hit 19 homers now in this ballpark.
That's a ton.
This is a little wrinkle that Roy's broken out this year. The changeup for right-handed hitters. It's something they normally did not do in the past, but it's been very effective for him. Ramirez may have tweaked his wrist.
Yeah, it looked like his wrist. Yeah. I've been watching that a lot with Roy. Like you said, I've seen a lot of changeups, which I haven't seen in a while.
He's hurt it.
Something's wrong with his wrist, yeah, for sure.
Let's go to the bat here.
I double up right here if Roy can right here. I come right back in there.
Last year it was the left shoulder dislocated, and that cost Ramirez some playing time.
I think we're not supposed to root. Is there any way we can go down there and tell them to double up back in here?
How much easier?
Patty said we're not supposed to root. She didn't say we couldn't cheat.
Right. How much easier does the game look to you up here than when you were playing it?
You know what, Brownie? People always ask me that question. It doesn't look any easier to me up here anymore. I have no thoughts that I could have hit that pitch. I mean, every once in a while, some guy will flip up the curveball and say, "Oh my God," that's kind of flinch, like I could hit that pitch. But I know I can't. So it's a hard game, and my last three and a half years was kind of a little bit of a struggle for me. So I am not so inclined to think that I can go and waste one of Roy's 94-mile-an-hour fastballs. But it is funny, and that's what happens back home, because everybody's played Little League, so they're like, oh, I can hit that. I can do that. Why can't that guy not swing at that pitch?
How could he take that pitch?
Manzella dives. It's on through into left. Scoring lead for a 2-2 game. RBI single Ramirez.
That was the change there again.
This time Ramirez stays back on it. The ball's on the plate. Stayed up a little bit. Got enough of it just to get it by Manzella. So the Cubs get one home and then one more over to third base. Still just one out.
Soriano batting. Runners at first and third. He popped a second in the second inning.
The way he was swinging Ramirez right there, I think that's probably one of the only pitches that he could actually get the bat head on. His wrist looked like it was really bothering him a lot. So I don't know if he could have caught up to a good fastball there. And guys, that's hitting. I mean, it's such a cat and mouse game with pitchers and hitters, and I mean, there was many games. I'll never forget. I had a game in San Diego. I was facing Andy Ashby, and I couldn't hit anything on the outer part of the plate. And he threw me a fastball in and a curveball in. I hit one for a home and one for a double. I had no chance. But I happened to get lucky that he threw it in the spot that I could hit it. And that's basically, I think, what just happened to Ramirez twice. What was the home run he hit on? What was that? Another changeup?
I think it might have been a slider.
Slider?
It wasn't a fastball.
I don't think he can catch up to a fastball tonight. He just got lucky. He got two pitches that he could handle with the head of his bat with a bad wrist.
Popped up, flared toward the right field line, and foul.
That would have been ugly.
Yeah, nobody had a chance on that one, though.
This is the home run swing. And it looked like a slider that backed up a little bit.
Yeah, out in front a little bit, cheating a little bit because he knows he can't get to the fastball.
Soriano's fun, Jeff, with the big bat and the long swing.
Got to stay inside.
He uses the Rideau Crusher. That's coming out of Ottawa, Canada.
That's deep enough. Hunter Pence with a catch. Here's the tag at third. Bird coming home to make it 3-2 Cubs on a sacrifice fly. Soriano getting his 28th run batted in. Now Starlin Castro. Castro cranks one. Keppinger with a play to his left for the third out. 2 runs on 3 hits and a man left. Cubs lead it 3-2.
This day in Astros history is brought to you by the MD Anderson Cancer Center, making cancer history, June 5th, 1992. Baggy Went deep up. Jeff Brantley, 2-run homer in the ninth to beat the Giants 5-4. Xavier Hernandez gets the win. Doug Jones picks up save number 14.
I had a couple home runs off of Jeff Brantley to win some games.
The Cowboy?
Yeah, he did.
How about Doug Jones, the mild thing we used to call him?
Unbelievable. Remember, how about the stutter step changeup? Yeah. He would fake like he was tripped and throw a changeup at like 60.
Yeah. 2-0 to Carlos Lee.
I want to say an umpire called a balk on that or something crazy like that one time.
Might have.
Let me see why.
Oh. 2 balls and a strike. Dempster with a 1-run lead has given up 2 hits and he's thrown a high percentage of strikes since that first inning.
I like those crafty guys that trying to invent things out there.
I appreciated it.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
The guy's stuff's a little bit short, so you got to get a little creative.
I've never seen anybody else do it. Certainly Billy Wagner didn't do it.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
I think it was a Cup game last week I was watching, and somebody accused, I think it was Lilly, pitching from in front of the rubber. Is that?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've seen that before.
Trying to,
Yeah, they said he was cheating. Yeah.
Put an extra foot on the fastball.
I used to think Carlos Hernandez used to do that for us. I never said anything, obviously.
Fly ball right field line. Colvin coming in and over toward foul territory and reaches down, but missed it. Yep.
This kid Colvin plays the line. How was he supposed to be there if Carlos hit me?
Good question.
He pulls up a little bit. There's so many guys involved in the play, and he got a little gun shy.
I'm not sure he was real scared of the riot, but I think he might have been a little scared of Derek Lee.
Ground ball in the hole, and there's Ramirez covering that hole. High throw, out at first. On the tag by Lee. Bobby Meacham's arguing the Alan Porter call.
An awkward play, and a good play by Ramirez. Then the throw sails on him a little bit. We're going to get a good look at it here as Lee comes down.
He's out.
Yeah, I think they got it. I think he got it right. Bobby Meacham, I think, making the argument that Carlos was on the bag prior to the tag, but that look, we got him.
Yeah. Bam. Right there, yeah. Got him a half step.
Hunter Pence with ball 1.
See, I was so slow when I went to first base. I used to slide in the first on that one.
That would have been a play where you could justify the slide at first base for sure.
You slide on the outside part. I see that first baseman coming off. I'm going to slide because that's how slow I was that I had time to think like that.
2 balls, no strikes. That's quite a play by Lee, though.
2 big men right there.
Yes. Two and 1. And now Adam Dunn's playing first base, and he was talking about actually liking to pick the ball on the short hop. But wouldn't you want your infielders to throw it high if you're as big as Dunn or Lee?
Well, I think you have a much better opportunity to get outs when the ball is down. Now, obviously, if you got somebody the size of Lee or Dunn, you can throw it high. Remember, I was kind of one of the more. At my time when I came up, I was probably the smallest first baseman there was at that particular time. And I used to tell Cammy and, Breezy and Craig, or actually it wasn't Casey back then. I said, hey, man, I can't catch it over my head, but I can catch it low. So keep the ball down. That being said, once I missed it, then they were like, you're too short. You're not helping me out right now. What are the Astros doing? So I had
ideally chest high would be the place to go.
I had to sell him on that. So Eventually they got it.
Hunter Pence takes a walk. Second walk to Dempster.
Hunter's doing a much better job, don't you think, guys?
Yes.
At home plate?
Yes.
And I think that little adjustment by seeing the ball a little bit better with both eyes has really, really helped him out on those breaking balls.
Yeah, the run he's in now is reminiscent of the beginning of last year. Last year, early on, he walked a fair bit, and he wasn't chasing that slider quite as much. And this year, early, he kind of reverted to that chase mode and wasn't quite as patient. Now he seems to figure it out again.
Well, and as you say, Jimmy, and that's what Hunter is. Hunter sometimes becomes impatient. He wants to hit so bad. And we all do. You know, I don't hit. I mean, I didn't want to walk all those times I walked. But you know what? You're not supposed to be able to hit the good slider. That's what it's there for. And I think Hunter's starting to realize that, you know what? I don't really need to be swinging at that pitch. And I think personally he's done, over the last 2-3 weeks, he's done a tremendous job at it.
Well, I think, there's a stubbornness in most players because you've had a lot of success. That's why you're here to begin with. So if somebody tells you you can't hit that pitch, your immediate reaction, oh, yes, I can. I'm going to prove you wrong.
Feliz with a liner to center, and he has shortened things up, Jeff, also.
He has. He had he started out real hot for us, and then can do it. I don't care what you tell me. But I've been on him the whole time, and Lance and everybody know. I promise you cannot hit good sliders. You're not supposed to. But he's doing a great job. He's made a great adjustment.
7-game hitting streak now for Pedro. Manzella with strike one. Tommy struck out in the second inning. Hunter has some of the most unorthodox ideas about how to hit. But whatever works for you.
Yeah, Hunter does most everything unorthodox. He has one batting glove, which I've never seen anybody do that. The old Saranaks and all that back in the 80s. Doesn't look like he runs well, but he's probably the fastest guy on our team besides Michael. Doesn't look like he throws that well, but yet he leads the league in assists almost every year. So looks aren't everything, I guess.
Yeah, and then you've seen textbook guys. I remember a guy way back, and Ken Harrelson, not Hawk Harrelson. There was another guy. I'll think of his name. But anyway, he was a textbook guy, and he did everything in a picture book fashion, but he was always getting hurt. So which would you rather have? The guy who's grinding it every day and is not a textbook guy.
I'll take the grinding out every single day. There's a lot of pretty players in the game, but they don't really last that long. Some of the best BP hitters I've ever seen never really made it to anything.
Ken Henderson, that's it. These are the Giants. 2 balls and a strike. Make it 1-2 now to Tommy.
See, there's hitting 1-on-1 right there. Tommy took first pitch slider for a strike that was probably a good pitch to hit. Got behind a little bit, got 1-1, then he got another slider, and he kind of went out of his zone. So people back home, I mean, you talked about looking how it looked. Like, is it easy on this? It's so mental when you get up there that you talk yourself into certain things. That you start going out of your zone. Jimmy, I'm sure pitching was the same way.
Well, and you do all the prep work, you do all your practice, and it's kind of like golf. You try to free the mind up when you go out to perform.
Well, you throw a fastball and some guy fouls it back. You go, he's right on that. But little do you know, it's right above the label.
Manzella whiffs. 2 outs for Quintero now.
Fox Sports Houston and the Texas Department of Transportation want to make sure you're safe this summer. Log on to foxsportshouston.com. Send us a photo of you or a friend wearing your seatbelt. One lucky photo will be selected each week to win a prize pack from Fox Sports Houston. Text stop reminds you to click it or ticket. Oh, yeah, I used to.
No, you talk yourself into stuff.
Yeah,
Lance tells me all the time. Lance will do. He'll foul the ball off, a fastball in, and it'll be right above his label, right below the label, and he will literally grab where it went, so the catcher can't see the mark.
Really?
Quintero takes ball 1.
I'm telling you. then what happens? Pitcher throws him a changeup and he whacks it into the seats.
Well, when you were telling the story about Andy Ashby a while ago, I could feel Andy Ashby's pain, because I know there were games where you're beating a hitter with a certain pitch, and so you start to tell yourself, okay, he's going to be looking for it this time, so you come off of it and he smokes it.
Right.
And that's the only thing he was going to handle.
When I had no
night.
chance on anything else, you were going to throw in the outside part of the plate.
Bouncer slowly hit. Castro throws out Quintero to end the Astros fourth with no runs a hit. 2 men stranded. 3-2 Cubs. Ramirez homer on the slider in the second inning. That tied the game 1-1. Then Keppinger hit number 1 of the season. The Astros took a 2-1 lead in the third against Dempster. But the Cubs in the fourth inning put 3 hits together, and Ramirez drove in the tying, and then the go-ahead came from the Soriano sac fly to make it 3-2 Chicago. We move to the fifth inning now. Bill Brown, Jim DeShays, Jeff Bagwell, and Coy Hill batting against Roy Oswalt. He tried to bunt his way on. Roy threw him out. Ball 1 to Hill with Dempster on deck and Terry O'Dew up third.
Roy fills his position very well. Over the years, I've seen that. You know, he takes care of bunts real well. He does that little bare hand thing like he did with Coy trying to bunt last time, but he does a nice job.
Is Hampton about the best fielding pitcher you've played with?
Yeah, the only thing is he had no idea how to throw the ball to first base.
Give you a little sinker?
No, he truly had a problem throwing the ball to first base.
Up the right field line. Hill heads for second base. It kicks out to Hunter. Got a shot at him. And there it is. Manzella with a tag. What a throw from Hunter Pence, and he played the carom perfectly.
Well, we just talked about that. You know, Hunter doesn't look like he's doing everything right, but all of a sudden he makes a strong throw to second base. Right there, we get an out.
Well, what a big play that is in a one-run game. The Cubs getting to Roy there in the fourth with an opportunity for a leadoff double here, but perfectly played by Pence, and then a great throw. I mean, and if you're Hill, you hit the ball right down the line, you just I don't think you assume double, but you feel like you have to go for it. Force the guy to make a play on you, and that's exactly what happened. That ball kicks anywhere. If Hunter has to make a couple steps right or left, they're not going to get him.
That's his fourth outfield assist.
Well, you and the fans like to call him the Big Puma, and I refuse to call him the Puma or whatever, because he gave himself that nickname. But did you see that fall down right there at first base?
Yeah.
I mean, come on, Lance.
That was un-Puma-like.
No, that was not very Puma-like.
Yeah, and that's supposed to be his good direction. Going to his right is where he really has a problem.
I love him like a brother, though, I promise.
Soft. A little pop-up out to Manzella. 2 outs. Houston Astros baseball on Fox Sports Houston is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers and the 2010 F-150, by AT&T, by Gullo Automotive, and by Whataburger. Beautiful night outside. Inside with the air conditioning on, it's 3-2. The Cubs lead it. 2 outs in the 5th inning. Ryan Theriot, the batter. Theriot has 5 hits in his last 42 at bats now.
He's really struggled. The Astros play him as an off-field hitter. He had that game here last year. He had a 4 or 5 hit game. I think they were all just kind of soft line drives to right field.
Still hitting 277 though.
Yeah. He got off to a great start this year. And then I read a story on the Cubs last week that Piniella had benched him, but he's still getting his at-bats.
213, that's a ton. The riot.
Feliz. And the throw gets by Berkman. He was trying to keep his foot on the base and stretch for it and failed to catch it.
Well,
all right, first sacker. So
I'm not going to say nothing until I see this replay real quick.
And I guess that's the difference when you got a guy who can run a little bit going down the line. I guess he feels like if he has to come off the bag to get that, to try to make the tag, it's too late. Theriot's gone by him. Yeah,
I would think if you called, went down right now, and Lance would tell you he should have made that play. And, he could have made that behind the bag, if you know what I mean, where you actually catch the ball, behind the bag. There's a play to be made there. But I think it's right. I think there's somebody running there that's a little bit faster than normal, and he wants to try and stay on the base and just didn't get his arm quite far enough out there. So
Feliz was charged with his 7th error. Now the bouncer, and Berkman comes up with a big play here, tossing to Oswalt in time to get Colvin. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 left. It's 3-2.
Allows for ticket prices to change in select seating sections based on supply and demand. Prices will fluctuate with deals of up to 50% off face value. Visit Astros.com often to check current prices of dynamic pricing seats. And I've got a group out here that got a great group rate on some tickets, and this is Coach Rodriguez of the White Sox. You guys traveled a long way to bring your group here.
Sure did, and it's Coach Gutierrez. We traveled all the way down from Laredo, Texas. We came out up here yesterday. So we're out here. We're going to be out here until Sunday. Take a couple of tours here in Houston and have some fun.
Now, you guys are 12 and under, which I find hard to believe. I'm going to check birth certificates. These are some big kids, but tell us a little bit about your season.
Well, this season we played 22 games and we dropped 5 games, so we ended up in 2nd place. American Little League down there in Laredo, Texas.
All All right, well, consolation prize for second place. All of Astro fans across the state get to see you guys. So congratulations, guys, on a great season. Give them a big wave.
Congratulations.
All right, guys.
Thanks, Patty. No balls, 2 strikes to Roy Oswald, leading it off here in the home 5th inning. And he struck him out.
One kid was a Carlos Lee lookalike there in the group. Did you see him in the back?
Oh. 6 strikeouts for Dempster.
Big power hitting looking guy.
Michael Bourne walked, stole a base, and scored in the first inning. He struck out in the 3rd.
Yeah, there we go. Right there.
Okay.
Look at it. Uncle Carlos used to wear the White Sox uniform.
Right, he did. On appeal, Bourne did not offer it that. And it's ball 1 on the Bill Miller call from third base. Ramirez is in tight. Keppinger on deck.
Just checking the out-of-town scoreboard, and kind of a unique night in baseball in that nobody's throwing a no-hitter. One hitter in through 5 innings, Boston and Baltimore. Pitching has just been unbelievably good this year.
Yeah, what's the explanation for that, Jimmy?
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of good young arms coming into the league.
Yeah, but that good?
Yeah. And
start talking about perfect games?
Yeah, just the depth of some of the pitching staffs.
Thank God I'm not playing it.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, Jeff, because the batting averages are depressed this year. Strikeouts are up.
Well, not really sure. I don't have much of an explanation for that. I just I don't know if teams are starting to go in different directions.
Carry-off.
Safe.
Yeah. Safe, and Lee is really upset at that call by Alan Porter. Carriel did a nice job to track it down. Now here's Lou Piniella coming out. And Bourne is called safe. An infield hit for Bourne. 7-game hitting streak for Michael.
I think the umpires feel when they see Lou come charging out of the dugout. Yeah. This ought to be a lot of fun. I'm going to be in Sports Center. I'm going to be embarrassed. You know, throw the base at me.
Mr. Michael, he's going to check it out too. He said, no, Lou, I beat it, Lou. Come on.
This could take a while to get back.
Yeah. He's in no hurry. Sweet Lou. Let's take a look. A bit of a mishandle. Ooh, yeah, it looked like they got him. Oh yeah, he's saying he came off the bag. Initially, I thought he said he just beat the play. I didn't see the initial signal where he said the lead came off the base, but in that replay, it looked like the Astros caught a break. Looked like Lee was able to maintain contact,
and Lou just made it back into the game.
Yep. Time for the Coors Light Cold Hard Blast from Jeff Keppinger, home run number 1 of the year, back in the 3rd.
We'll take it, guys. There is rooting in the press box.
Michael Bourne draws the throw. He stole a bag in the first inning. Hill made a good throw on that.
I guess it isn't in the we're not in the press box, actually, right?
No, we're not.
No.
All right, so we can root.
Yeah, we can root.
Keppinger's 1 for 2. 1 out, double play situation. And he takes a strike. Now, Bourne stole second on the first pitch to Keppinger back in the first inning.
We've seen the different approaches for Keppinger tonight. It's kind of fun. That first time up, taking some pitches, giving Michael a chance to steal, then advancing him, and then hitting the home run. His second at bat and fastball up, he was able to turn it loose.
One and one. What was your most common count if you're going to steal a base that you like the most? 2-1, something like that, Baggy?
You know, a lot of it mattered who was up. You know, I'm not sure who was hitting fourth behind me or something like that, but usually a 1-0 pitch generally was going to be a breaking ball because they didn't want to throw that guy at first 1-0 fastball, so that was a good chance. I would also try and look in a lot. Like as Michael leads off, I would try and look in to see if I could see what the catcher was putting down. If I saw a breaking ball, then I would want to go on that pitch. But for a slow guy like me, more than anything else, I wanted to see how quick the pitcher was the whole play. If he was 1-4, I felt like I had a chance. Anything under 1-4, my slow butt couldn't get there.
Double play ball. Terrio to Castro to Lee. No runs, a hit, nobody left through 5, 3-2 Cubs. First base, Carlos Lee with a grounder. And here's Ramirez's throw and the tag by Derek Lee. The Coors Light Freeze Cam brought to you by the Frostproof Coors Light.
That's the one, Brownie, I'm chasing in the dugout because that's way over my head.
There's strike one to Lee. Derek 1-for-2 in this game. He singled and scored in the fourth. 6 hits for the Cubs, 4 hits for the Astros. Balls, 2 strikes. Well, the Cubs certainly are disappointed, as you've talked about, and the Astros too, by the numbers that some of the hitters who normally are very productive have compiled at this point of the season. So there are hitters in that category every year in baseball.
Well, no doubt. I mean, you know, even look at
in the left center field, Carlos unable to prevent a double by Derek, and that's his 9th of the year.
Teixeira in New York is doing the same thing he does every year, where he doesn't hit in April and all of a sudden comes out a little bit. I mean, it kind of goes a little bit of a cycle. And, you know, we were talking on the break here that the kid in Toronto has 18 homers. I mean, who would expect that?
Jose Bautista.
Who was what? Was he with the Pirates?
Yeah, with the Pirates.
Yeah.
16 for a full season. I think his career high prior to this year.
I mean, you talk about the Cubs. I mean, Zambrano went to the bullpen.
A gapper to right center field by Bird. And here's Derek Lee turning third and coming home as the throw comes into second, and he is not running well, but he scores to make it 4-2. And Bird into second base. That's his 4th double of the series.
Back-to-back doubles for Bird and Lee. Bird doubled last time up. Lee's had 3 good swings. The only time they got Derek Lee out, he had a bullet to the shortstop. So the Cubs staying with this approach of attacking early. First pitch strike from Oswalt. They're jumping on it. And Lee was somewhat reluctant rounding third base.
Derek's hurting. He's hurting, huh?
It almost looks like a low back kind of thing.
I would agree with that 100%, Jimmy. I think you're right. He's looked real gingerly on that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I didn't realize is how well Bird runs.
Yes.
He got around first base. It was like it was not even a thought.
He really does.
He's got that kind of wide lower unit, but he can run.
Bird 2 doubles tonight, giving him 20, and that's his 29th run batted in. Ramirez has a homer and an RBI single. But the scoring is way off in Major League Baseball so far this year compared to previous years.
And guys, I wasn't here last night, obviously, but what was Big Z's velocity last night?
He got up to about 91.
He early, first inning, he was 87, 88.
Hey guys, come on.
And then he picked it up. I saw a couple 93s on our on the deal out here.
Okay.
But yeah, but it wasn't the
99 that I saw for 6 straight pitches in Chicago about 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Yeah,
far from that. 1-2 to Ramirez.
Even Lincecum's velocity's down.
That's true.
He's 91, 92 now.
Manzella.
But yeah, we got a perfect game every night.
Lincecum's throwing a lot of changeups there.
All right, Jeff, here we have it. AT&T has a trivia question for us. We know you'll knock this out of the park. Who was the last Cub to lead the National League in hits? Maybe Mark Grace? Did he ever do that?
Tony Gwynn was around a long time when Mark Grace was here.
Yeah, that's true. We'll have to think about that. Soriano puts one in the air, and Hunter Pence is in right center waiting for this. Bird is tagging, but it's a short throw, and he'll hold on. 2 outs. Sandberg.
I'm thinking of a top of the order type guy who rarely walked, and Sean Dunston comes to mind. But I don't know if Sean ever hit for high enough average.
Yeah, I don't think he hit high enough average to do that.
Okay. He's still active, this player.
I'm going to peek my head across this little area right here and ask these Cub guys.
Castro is 0 for 2. Leading the league in hits. Strike to Castro.
Roy's flying open there.
Yeah, his command not as sharp as it was in the early going. Last inning, it looked to me like he was getting the ball up a little bit.
That'd be a process of flying open right there.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, front shoulder.
Your kind of arms kind of trailing your body.
2-1.
Yeah, he finishes with that kind of falling off the first base side, but sometimes he gets a little too quick. That front shoulder opens up on him.
That's what Bud does. Bud does the same thing. Yeah. He flies open. That's why his elbow bothers him every once in a while, because he gets kind of out in front of his body and just kind of pushing that fastball or slider up there.
Manzella fields the grounder and throws out Castro. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 left. Cubs lead it 4-2. The Blackhawks might just end that drought this year.
We're creeping.
4-2, the Cubs lead it. Lance Berkman leads off. He is 1 for 2 with an RBI.
And I will take responsibility for something.
Line to right. Colvin with a catch. One pitch went out in the 6th inning for Dempster.
And a good swing by Lance, but nothing to show for it. It's kind of like the ball he hit the other night that Guzman.
Yes.
Played in right field. We give up.
All right, let's see what that AT&T trivia answer is about the Cub who led the league in hits. We don't have the answer right now.
Well, they just gave us a 30-second reprieve. We get to think about it a little longer.
Okay.
Let's go with Derek Lee.
Okay.
Oh, look at Carlos.
They had a shot of him. Carlos showing butt, and he takes strike one. He is struck out and grounded out to third.
The bat slipped out of his hands.
Dempster is in search of win number 4. It's 1-1. Last time out, he gave up 6 runs in 6 2/3 innings in a 9-1 loss to St. Louis, including 2 Albert Pujols homers. But the start before that, he shut out the Dodgers for 8 innings.
That's not his fault, though.
No?
No. You gotta submit at least 2 homers to Albert every time you go out there. I'll tell you, and Jimmy, I think you agree. He has been a very, very solid starter for a long time. Dempster.
Oh, yeah.
He really has. He gives you quality innings. He doesn't want to get out of there. I think Ryan's a very, very good major league pitcher. And, I can say because I faced him and I watch him pitch on TV now. So it's he's somebody that you would want on your team pitching for you every 5th day.
Well, he's pitched 200 innings each of the last 2 years since going back into the rotation from the bullpen.
He's a closer, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. Yeah. And at the beginning of his career with Florida, in his 3rd and 4th years, he had 200 inning seasons in both of those years. He was an all-star in 2000, had Tommy John surgery in 03.
I'm cranking out, what did you say, Brian? 33% sliders every
Yeah.
year? You might have to have some Tommy John surgery.
He might.
Reposition those bone chips a little bit and go get them.
In the dirt.
And early in his career, he really struggled with control.
Yeah, you're right.
2001 with Florida, he walked 112 batters in 211 innings. He was still a winning pitcher. He won 15 games that year. And that speaks to earlier we were talking about him not wanting to give in. Partly, control, a little bit of an issue, but also part of it just not wanting to throw it over the heart of the plate.
Line to left.
He threw that slider over the heart of the plate right there.
Yeah. Carlos knew what to do with it. AT&T trivia answer about the Cub who led the league in hits. Last Cub to do it was Juan Pierre.
There we go. Well, we had the leadoff guy who doesn't walk much. We got the thinking right behind it. We just couldn't come up with a
Jimmy,
player.
you're right.
Yeah. How quickly we forget.
I really did, man. I forgot Juan even played for them.
Joined the club on that. Hunter Pence is grounded out and walked.
I was somewhere between Florida and L.A.
Yeah, he's a White Sox now, right?
He sure is. Yes, he is.
Ball one to Hunter.
Hunter's got that bat up, so I bet that bat is 32 inches right now.
Well, he's using the fat part of it. He's choking up.
Well, Lance Berkman tells me that you have to use the entire bat.
Really?
Yeah. The handle, the end of the bat, and the sweet spot to get hits.
Okay.
There's hits everywhere.
There's hits everywhere in that bat.
Okay.
It actually makes sense.
It works for him.
It didn't work that much for me, I don't think. It worked for Lance.
All right, why not just get a shorter bat instead of choking up on a longer bat?
Well, what he's got right now is he's got a 34.5, I think, and I could be wrong, 34.5, 34-ounce bat, which the density of that bat makes the bat harder and stronger. So he's choking up on that. I know Barry Bonds, the reason he choked up on his bat was because he used to use his dad's bat, and it was too heavy, so he had to choke up to get like that, and that's how he ended up choking up 2 or 3 inches on that bat that he had, which was not a real big bat at the time when I remember, which was about 34, 32, and I don't know if it changed when he started hitting like 100 homers a year, so I'm not sure.
Well, does this really helped his bat control to choke up like this.
It should. But still, you're still making an effort to swing, so I don't know if it does. So if he had a 32-32 or 32-34 or whatever, I don't know if they can make that. He'd still give the effort to swing.
3-2 now. Hunter's a .346 career hitter against Dempster. Dempster's thrown 95 pitches. Cubs have a pitcher warming up in their bullpen. Dempster's 4-10 against Houston. Carlos starts and stops, swing and a miss, throw back to first, and a strikeout, 2 outs. 7 strikeouts.
There's that good Dempster slider right there in a real tough spot.
As a hitter right there, you're kind of backed up. You got a kind of a hittable breaking ball 3-1 that he swung through. So your thought process is, I'm probably going to get a 3-2 breaking ball again, but just in case, I got to be ready for that 93-mile-an-hour fastball. And he got one of his better sliders, and tough to hit.
Feliz grounds to shortstop. Castro down on a knee to Terrio. No runs, a hit. Runner left. Through 6, 4-2 Cubs.
Sports Houston is brought to you by Capital One, by Chevy, by Steel, and by Clear Wireless. Move to the 7th inning here at Minute Maid Park. 4-2 Chicago Cubs lead. Kevin Eschenfelder back with your reminder. Be sure to join us after the game for Astros Live. We head to the clubhouse here from the skipper Brad Mills, all that more. And it should look like something like this on the postgame show because Jimmy Wynn will join me. So I'll be over here and Jimmy will be right there. It's Jimmy Wynn bobblehead night, guys. Back to you.
Oh, yeah. Good-looking bobble. We go to the 7th inning. It's 4-8-0 for the Cubs, 2-5-1 for the Astros. Michael Bourne running back to his position before Coy Hill bats. Hill singled in the 5th inning and was thrown out trying to stretch that to a double.
Roy's doing 3rd in the bottom half of the 7th, so this likely will be his last inning, and he's in pretty good shape here with 8-9-1 due up.
He's only thrown 72 pitches. 2-0. Roy is 1-6 at home despite a 3.65 ERA. Made 9 of his 12 starts in this ballpark this year.
You see some of his numbers here at this ballpark is amazing.
It is, isn't it?
As much as they all complain, those pitchers in 2000, Roy has stood the time and gone out there and just dominated this ballpark.
He is 76-31 here.
It's crazy, huh?
With a 2.85 ERA. There's a walk to Hill.
As he walks the leadoff hitter. Right on my call, how much he's nominated.
That's his first walk of the night. Now with Dempster up there to bunt, he is 0 for 2.
Well, he's hitting 208, which is not bad. I would pretty much guess on the bunt. Uh-oh,
he falls, and there's the throw to first base. Quintero.
Brad Mills going to argue that's
something going on here.
Dempster tangle got in Q's way.
Chad Fairchild is the home plate umpire. So did his fall interfere with Quintero fielding the ball? Was it?
If he might have gone to second base, it would, right?
Yeah. Was it on purpose? Did he slip?
And I don't think it has to be on purpose. I think obstruction. It's the responsibility of the base runner to yield to the fielder trying to make a play. Well, so I think that's my understanding of the rule. I'm not as well versed on the rule book as some perhaps, but my understanding of the base runner is his responsibility is to get out of the way, and intent doesn't matter.
Well, there was a play similar to this one in the 1975 World Series, and
that Armbruster play, right?
Yeah, with Carlton Fisk, and they ruled the same way. The umpire just ruled incidental contact. They were both.
But don't you have a baseline, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you establish that baseline, which is going to be him straight to home plate. Excuse me, to first base.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in the baseline running from first to second as the fielder, I have the right to run over you. A la Albert Bell back in the day when he destroyed Fernando Vina.
Yeah.
No.
No?
No. The base runner has to allow the fielder to make a play.
No, once the play is made, though, then you can do whatever, right?
I got my rule book out here.
Go ahead, man. I want to hear it. You tell me.
I'll be with you guys in a few minutes.
Okay. I'm willing to listen. I'm coachable.
I think if he's fielded the ball and he has it there, he's fair game.
But at that point, he didn't field the ball.
Yeah. If he's fielded the ball, I'm talking about a fielder about to make a play on a ball.
That's different.
Right.
Then it's so hard when he's almost still in the batter's box, wasn't he?
Right. And so you could rule, as Fairchild apparently did, well, they were both just getting out of the box, and the base runner was running toward first, and the catcher was running toward the ball, so it was incidental contact.
So I'm not sure that Dempster would even know that Quintero would be out there. There he goes running. And say, yeah, that's weird.
See, I've got him out of the box.
He is out there, Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
What he should have done is just thrown it to second, see if he could have got him anyway.
Right.
Because Dempster certainly wasn't going to beat it back.
Right. Still would have had the out at first. And I've heard umpires say, Baggy, that in order to get that call, the catcher has to be throwing it. You've got to go through with it to get the call.
Let me tell you, I spent my first 2 years in the big leagues with Mike Scioscia on my back when I was on the front of the home plate. And now I'm talking about stealing. Somebody would steal second base or whatever, and I would do one of my big swings and fall over. Mike Scioscia would sit there. He'd literally jump on my back, and I would be on my face first on home plate. And every single time he'd get it called. And he was not a small man.
No.
And still not. Jim Deshaies over here on my left side. Really, really trying to figure this thing out.
Away here, man. I apologize if you asked me a question I didn't respond. I'm deep into this book right here.
Well, you know, Scioscia used to block the plate. He just sat down on the plate.
Yeah. I've got a picture in my office at home of me scoring a run on Mike Scioscia as the catcher.
Really?
Yeah.
How'd you get on?
Well, I don't remember.
Hit by pitch? What happened?
Ground into a forced play?
Yeah, I think it was a walk.
You battled him? You battled him for 19 pitches?
I keyholed him, fouled off a couple tough pitches. It's only 2 outs, Hunter. Wanted to jog in on that one.
Yeah.
He's also thinking about that play.
Yeah, he thought they had a double play.
So, remember, Scioscia one time blocked Billy Doran off the plate. Billy blasted into him. And
Scioscia broke a couple legs in his career.
Oh, he never moved. He would literally sit on home plate and say, "Go ahead, run me over."
He's like one of those big, like people have those big, like cement frogs in their yard, just big.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Buddha, you know,
can you imagine if they gave him those masks they have now? He would never leave.
Give him the goalie mask.
No, he'd never leave. Hey, literally, you would score like on a double, and you were on third, and he still wouldn't let you go home.
Excuse me, Mike.
Yeah, of course.
Touch home here.
Of course, I was 23 years old. I was like, yeah, I'm sorry, Mr. Socha. I'm just going to tap the side of this right here.
I won't bother you. I'm just going to pass by here.
But Socha actually enjoyed the contact. And Doran, after he blasted into him that one time and he was out, said, Socha said, nice hit. Do you like that?
Yeah. Well, that was Billy. Billy wasn't the biggest guy in the world either.
High drive. That's going to jump off the bat of Tyler Colvin for a 2-run homer. And it's 6-2 Cubs. Number 6 for Colvin, giving him 15 runs batted in.
Man, the way that kid has been swinging, he brought a 293 average into this game with 5 home runs, not getting regular playing time, but the way he's swinging the bat, it's going to be tough for Lou to keep him out of the lineup. Trying to backdoor slider there and got too much of the plate.
Well, let's compare his numbers with Fukudome. Here's Lee. He's 2 for 3. Upstairs, ball 1. Colvin just hit his 6th homer. Fukudome also has 6. Fukudome has 151 at bats. Colvin has 78.
He's flying open right now, Jimmy.
Yeah, a little angry. He's that first fastball at 95. Yeah, he just. Roy tonight looks more like the Roy the last couple of years and not the guy we've seen for most of this year. A little bit more hittable, not quite as sharp with his command. He's only had the 1 strikeout. His strikeout rate for this season is as good as it's been since he first came into the league.
Michael Bourne backs in center field. And on the warning track, takes in the Derek Lee fly ball. And it's 2 runs, 1 hit for the Cubs. And lead it 6-2 in the 7th. Recognize Mack Hike Chevrolet for their support of the Memorial Ashford Little League right there. For more information on Chevy's commitment to youth league baseball programs, visit ChevyTexasBaseball.com. And there they are enjoying this game. It's 6-2. The Cubs lead it after the 2-run homer by Tyler Colvin. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning, and the Astros have some work to do. And it'll be Manzella Quintero in the pitcher's spot. The Astros have bullpen action going with Roy Oswalt due up third. And Manzella hits one to Colvin in right. One out for Ryan Dempster.
Tell you right now, I'm not trying to go to the right field line with Colvin playing out there.
He's been all over that line. Quintero hit a fly ball to Colvin in the second and then grounded out.
Jimmy, got anything for me yet?
Well, I've got Rule 708B here. A runner who is adjudged to have hindered a fielder who was attempting to make a play on a batted ball is out, whether it was intentional or not.
Okay.
You got it then.
All over it.
Well, that would explain it then. Then he should have been out.
If the umpire declares the hindrance intentional, then both the batter and the runner are out.
So what you're saying is that runner should have been back to first base.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So if the rule, if he were to have ruled interference, batter out for interfering with Q's ability to make a play on the ball, young
runner goes back to first.
You can't assume they would have him out at second,
right?
But you could return him to first base.
Right. Do you guys remember?
Quintero to left. Soriano back. That's a deep drive, and he's hit it out. It's 6-3 as Q goes deep for the second time. That's a little spark in the 8th spot in the order.
Now we got home run number 1 from Jeff Peppinger tonight. Now Q with just his second. You know, his first time up, he hit that ball deep into the right field corner, and Colvin was able to run it down. So he's had a couple good swings tonight.
Luke Pinella's making that walk out to the mound.
It looks like he was a little in front of that ball too.
Yeah,
it's a long way for that.
It is.
JD, you remember, and Brownie, you remember that time we were in L.A.? What was that thing that Joe West called against us?
Yeah. You were. Well, we'll get back to that.
We'll get back to that one. Yeah.
6-3 Cubs.
By Gallery Furniture is available for every Astros home game in 2010. Get a field box ticket near right field, plus a one-of-a-kind Hunter Pence t-shirt for just $30. You can also take advantage of this great offer with the 6-game flex plan. Visit Astros.com to buy yours tonight, guys.
Thanks, Patty. And here's the Verizon call to the bullpen, bringing in the lanky left-hander, Sean Marshall. He's listed at 6'7". He's 27 years old. Faces the pinch hitter for Roy Oswalt, Corey Sullivan, taking strike 1. Corey started the game last night in right field, and he was 0 for 1 with a walk. Second baseman Terrio. 2 outs.
Limited bullets for Brad Mills on his bench with 13 pitchers on the staff. He only has 4 bench players. Sean Marshall has been awfully good for the Cubs this year. 5-2, 2.13 ERA. He struck out 31 while walking just 8. In 25 in the 3rd inning. He has not yet allowed a home run. So across the board, the number's very good for Sean Marshall.
Michael Bourne's been on twice with a walk and an infield hit. Showing ball 1. Now that play in Los Angeles, you were holding a runner on first base.
Yeah.
And the batter hit the ball to your right.
Right.
And it hit the base runner, right? Joe West did not call him out because he said that
I could not make a play on that ball.
Right, but the ball, to my recollection, JD and I might remember this differently, was hit sharply to your right. You had no chance to get there and make a play on it.
No.
Okay. And he said you did, and made that call.
The rule is if there's nobody that can make a play on the ball, the batter or the runner is therefore not out. Because we always assume a base runner gets hit by the ball, he's out. And what Joe ruled, he wasn't out, and that freaked us all out. Wait a minute, that's been going on for 100 years. And I think the situation was, I don't know if the infielders were playing a double play depth or something, but it hit the base runner, and there was nobody behind them to make a play.
Jeff Kent was playing second, I believe, right?
Maybe Kent was pinched in, and infield was in part way, or whatever it was. And so Joe ruled that if the ball passes an infielder, and since you were holding, the ball went by you on a lateral line,
right,
and there was nobody in position or deep enough to have an option to make a play on the ball, there's no interference by the base runner. And letter of the law
probably says that's right.
He's right, yeah.
But we've never seen that call before or since.
I don't think, unless Joe's out there again, I don't think you're going to hear it again either. That being said, Joe West is probably the best umpire I've ever played baseball with. His strike zone remains the same no matter who it is, what it is, whatever. Great umpire, just
yes.
Cowboy Joe.
Fulcino in the bullpen, still 3-2 now to Bourne. Dempster in 6 1/3 gave up 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, threw 101 pitches, 65 for strikes. Oswald, 7 innings, 9 hits, 6 runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. And strike 3 for Marshall ends the Astros 7th with a Quintero homer making it 1 more run for the Astros, but the Cubs lead it 6-3. Our Energy Insights brought to you by CenterPoint Energy. Marlon Byrd's 2 for 3 with a couple of doubles. He has 4 two-base hits in the series. He's driven in a run again tonight. Ramos Ramirez and Tyler Colvin have homered in the 2nd and 7th. Jeff Keppinger and Humberto Quintero have gone deep for the Astros. 6-3 Cubs. Jeff Fulcino in the ballgame now for the 8th inning. He has no decisions. His ERA 7.17.
Jeff got off to a nice start, but recently has struggled a little bit. That ERA starting to balloon on him. You know, 2-3 weeks ago, the Astros down 3 runs late. You figured ball game over, but the way things have been going lately, I feel like you got a fighting chance. They do have Carlos Marmol out there in that bullpen, and he's been electric this year.
Ground ball up the middle and on into center field. And Bird has his 3rd straight hit.
Got 20 doubles, huh?
Yes.
Wow. Is he leading the league? Pretty close, huh?
Pretty close, yeah. He might be leading now after tonight.
Second to Jason Worth.
Okay.
Jason Worth.
He's having a nice walk here. Ramos Ramirez has a homer and an RBI single in 3 trips. There's strike one. The Cubs now have 10 hits in this game. We're talking about the guys who are off to slow starts, and there are several in both of these lineups tonight, but still just past the 1/3 mark of the season.
This is still where the guys right now are in the clubhouse and they're looking at USA Today and they're going, if I go 20 for my next 21, I'll be hitting 295. Been there, done that.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Q can't stand it. He hasn't thrown by. He hasn't thrown down yet. Actually, I think he did throw once.
He threw to 3rd.
Yeah, he did. He's dying right now.
Fulcino's had kind of a feast or famine year. He's still throwing in the mid-90s. And sometimes location's been a little bit off for Jeff. Last time out, he had a good outing.
Well, early in the season as a bullpen guy, if you have 1 or 2 really bad outings, it gets to look real ugly real quick.
Absolutely. 2-1. He gave up 5 runs in an inning and a 1/3 on Monday. That blew up his ERA.
Yeah, there you go. If memory serves me right, Valverde had a tough time last year. Was it last year or the year before, where he had a huge ERA and then just dominated after that and ended up 1.8, something like that, something crazy.
Yeah, I think it was the year before.
Was it the year before?
Ripped to left field.
Guy likes hitting here, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. He smokes it to left. Goes as a long single for Ramirez, his 3rd hit of the night.
Well, I haven't seen this guy hit very often there, Jimmy, but not so much the hitter, but this guy Marlon Byrd, man, I'm impressed with how he runs and 1st to 3rd and taking 2nd base on that double he hit the other time. I mean, I've been impressed with this.
And he's probably been their most consistent player this year. He's been pretty steady for them all year long.
Because to me, it's the biggest lost art in the game right now, going 1st to 3rd. Mm-hmm. The guys just don't do it. They shut her down.
Is that something that has to be instilled in spring training?
I think it does. And that's just my opinion. And, people will say, oh, you finished playing and, now you're talking and all that. But I just think it's very important. And it's not so much that. It's a mindset more than anything else. I'm doing the best I can for our ball club. Did he swing at that?
Yes, he did. Yeah. Not very.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to lose track of what I was doing right there. But I think it's a mindset. I mean, I'm going 1st to 3rd for our ball club and for that guy on deck to make his life a lot easier, because he can be over 3 and hit a fly ball to right and get a sacrifice fly. He goes home thinking he's had a nice night.
Mm-hmm. And isn't that something that we've read about the Angels in the past, because they're one of the best teams
they are
in doing that. And
they had something in the paper like a week or 2 ago about the teams that go to 1st to 3rd more than any other team.
Right.
I think the Angels were one, weren't they?
Yes. Isn't that something that, even as a base runner, that can surprise you how often you can make it if you just kind of throw caution to the wind sometimes?
Well, if you think about it, you put Michael in center field right there. If I hit a line drive over the second baseman's head, for Michael to go to right to his left and to grab that ball, make a spin, and throw the ball to 3rd on line to get somebody, you know how difficult that is?
Yeah.
And you, as a base runner, got to be willing to take that chance.
True.
It's a good block by Q right there.
3-1.
Soriano swinging at that breaking ball earlier, so they tried again, and that's the thing with Soriano. He hits balls all over the place. So if you're going to try to go way up or way down, you've got to go beyond the norm.
You do it right here again, wouldn't you, Jimmy?
Yeah, I wouldn't give it.
Bases loaded now, nobody out for Castro.
Take my chance with the young kid right here.
Well, we were talking about Fultino and his struggles recently, and I think that the base hit to Ramirez probably exemplifies it more than anything. They're trying to go down and away with the fastball. Pitching coaches talk so much about glove side command or arm side command. And, bottom line is, it's a difficult pitch to make, a righty or trying to go down and away to a right-handed hitter, lefty down and away to a left-handed hitter with the fastball. You really got to drive it and get extended. And there's a tendency not to finish the pitch, and it runs back over the middle of the plate.
Well, that's what we talked about earlier about flying open.
Yeah.
If you fly open, you can't make that pitch. But if you drive that shoulder to that thing, like we talked about again earlier, it's easy for us up here to sit there and go, but when you're heated battle, it's a little bit different.
And that's why most guys, when they try to go to that spot, will do it with a cutter or a slider because it's hard to throw. Jeff's got a four-seam fastball. It's tough to get that pitch out there. But slider's probably his worst pitch. He's got a good splitter.
Yes,
he uses effectively against lefties.
Yes, he does.
He's got good life on that heater. Doesn't have a lot of movement, but he throws hard.
Infield in for Castro. And there's ball one with Chacin warming up and Daigle.
That was a split there,
right?
Yeah.
That might have been on the advice of Brad Arnsberg. He may have said, hey, let's come off that fastball a little bit, try to mix in the off-speed pitch.
Roy Hill's on deck. Grounded to third. Feliz comes home. First play there. Quintero to first. Double play. 5-2-3.
Well, circle that one in your scorebook because if the Astros come back and win this game, that's going to be a huge play right there.
And all's right in Q's world right now, JD.
Yeah.
He got a chance to throw somebody. If I could just throw half that, I could.
For a fleeting second, I was thinking triple play. But you got to go home there and make sure you get that out because Castro's a speedy guy. You just can't. It would have been fun to see him try, but they're not likely to get Castro.
Roy Hill has been on twice. That's ball one. Pitcher Spadu up next.
Pretty good bats on the bench for the Cubs. Fontenot and Fukudomi from the left side. Soto, Nady, and Baker, right-handed pinch hitters.
Brad Mills is coming out.
He's got Burdack ready to go.
Fontenot's in the on-deck circle.
Chacin warming up. So this looks to be more about the approach. What do you want to do with his hitter here? We got a base open.
Daigle is the right-hander, and he wants the lefty. So it'll be Chacin. So Hill, the switch hitter, can turn around at bat right where he's 1 for 8 this season. It's 6-3 Cubs. Back in a moment.
Be sure to follow the Astros on your iPhone, iPod Touch, BlackBerry, and Android phone with MLB.com at Bat 2010, featuring play-by-play video highlights and live audio broadcasts. Visit Astros.com tonight on your iPhone, iPod Touch, Android, or BlackBerry for more details, guys.
Thanks, Penny. Gustavo Chacin comes in, and he'll inherit a 1-0 count to switch hitting Coy Hill, who will now bat right-handed. And Chacin has done well in 7 games, JD.
And plus, he's in a home run.
That's right.
It's really been a banner year for him. Back to the big leagues for the first time in a while. He's only worked 7 times for the Astros this year. He's also spent time down at AAA Round Rock. I like this move by Brad Mills here. That allows Brad, gives him the flexibility here to get the matchup he wanted. He gets Hill to the right side where he's only had 8 at-bats. If you wait and you bring a lefty in to face Fontenot, should the inning continue, then Lou can just pinch hit for Fontenot with a right-handed bat. You know he's not going to use Soto here because he doesn't want to use his other catcher in a pinch hit situation. I don't think he's got a third option, and he's got a 3-run lead, so it's not a situation where the Cubs are going to do anything desperate. So you can go to the lefty here knowing full well that Pinella's not going to hit for Hill. You're going to turn him around to his weaker side.
2 men on with a 1-1 count.
Let's talk about Chacin a little bit, too, about Jimmy, what you said, he's got a home run. Was that about 5 days ago?
Yeah.
6 days ago?
It was Monday.
I guarantee you there was not one hitter in that dugout that was happy for Chacin when he hit that home run.
This big league got bat in 5 years.
Gone. And they're struggling. But things have changed.
Now it's 3-1.
It's like a 3-run homer out of him tonight.
He worked 2 2/3 innings in that game Monday. Worked another hitless inning on Wednesday. Finished up the 5-1 win.
The reason I say all that is I called Lance and I said, hey man, I just want to say I'm sorry. It was voicemail. I said, I want to say I'm sorry because Chacin went deep and you've got like 4 homers. I think he's got like a couple since then. But trust me, I've been there, man. I know how it feels. Pitcher comes up there first at bat in a while, and all of a sudden he just goes deep. Like this stuff's easy. Kind of like you, Jimmy. You just come up and you just knock the ball over the ball. No big deal. Take it out in center field of the dome.
Line drive, left field corner. And a score 2 to make it 8-3 Cubs. Hill into second base. He's had a big night. That's his first double of the year, giving him 5 runs batted in now.
So you may get the matchup you prefer, but that doesn't always mean it's going to work out the way you hoped. Hill kind of spoiling the party there. But I still like the move. I think it was a smart move to turn Hill around to the right side.
Oh, no doubt. When he has that less of an at-bats.
Those runs are charged to Jeff Fulcino, who in 2/3 of an inning gave up 2 hits, 2 runs with a walk, no strikeouts. Now Sean Marshall's going to stay in. The Cubs had put Xavier Nady out to the on-deck circle and called back Fontenot, but now they'll just stick with Marshall with the 5-run lead. Cubs trying to snap a 4-game losing streak. It's the 3rd time this year Pinella's club has lost 4 in a row. And they have to go back to Pittsburgh to make up a rainout on Monday afternoon. They're on a 9-game road trip. Marshall, a 165 career hitter. He's batting for the first time this season. Strike 1. Brad Mills said he was trying to stay away from using Brandon Lyon last night, and he did not use him. Paulino went 8, and Lindstrom got the save by working the 9th of a 3-1 win. No balls, 2 strikes. Cubs are 42-41 here at Minute Maid Park. And it's strike 3. Marshall caught looking to end the Cubs' 8th inning. They put 2 on the board on 3 hits. They leave a man, and it's 8-3 Chicago. warms up with some excellent leather work on Colvin in the 5th inning.
And play Manzella on Bird. It's the only time they've gotten Marlon Bird out tonight.
Yep.
It's a spectacular play to do it.
Now with Marshall on the mound and an 8-3 Cubs lead, they've been able to add to that lead with those scoring frames there in the 6th, 7th, and 8th. 5 of their runs scoring. And those 3. It's Keppinger, Berkman, and Lee. Try to go to work on Marshall here. Keppinger homered in the 3rd. Strike 1.
Marshall must have some good numbers against some righties, huh, Jimmy?
Yeah, I don't know what his numbers are, left, right. I wouldn't get them.
Because we got some
turnover changeup right there.
We got some pretty good righties coming up.
Marshall, 193 right-handed hitters, no homers, 57 at bats.
Well, Tom Brown?
Yeah, there it is.
Because I know Keppinger hits real well against lefties.
Yes, he does.
And I would imagine in general, Carlos hits real well against lefties.
Yes. 2 balls and a strike. Marshall has started and relieved. Last year, mostly a reliever. Keppinger near the right field line and foul.
Marshall looks like a starting pitcher. Big, lanky left-hander with good off-speed stuff, good hook, and he's got the repertoire of a starting pitcher, but for whatever reason, he can't find a spot.
How old is he? I would imagine a lot of teams would take a shot on that kid.
He's 27.
Is he 27 to be a starter? Big curveball.
Well, he started in 06 when he came out. 24 starts that year.
And as you saw in that last one that Keppinger hit, Colvin was right there on the right field line again.
He got the vet defense.
I've never seen a right fielder play that far over with a right-handed batter.
Yeah. There's a lot of room in right center, as you can tell there.
Because I imagine Marlon Bird's got to cover some area in a couple different directions over here.
You know it.
Marlon's kind of on an island, isn't he?
He is.
Soriano's.
Keep on saying on SportsCenter, Revis Island, that guy that.
That almost made it into right center, but Terrio goes up. 1 out.
So you're getting ready to head to New York for the draft here.
I do. I leave tomorrow for the draft on Monday.
Can you disclose who your first pick is going to be?
I'm not picking Craig Biggio. I know that.
Now, so fly up tomorrow.
Yeah. Draft on Monday.
Draft on Monday. So you go to the hotel where they're holding this thing.
Yeah. Well, no, they're actually holding it with that MLB network.
Oh, okay.
On the infield there.
Oh, nice.
Hopefully I'll see Barry Larkin. Actually, there's a ton of guys that are going to be there that are former players. It's actually a pretty impressive list. I don't know why I got invited, but I'm going to be there.
Have you ever been to that studio before?
I have not. Not invited to that one either.
Should be a good tour for you.
So do you get to walk up to the podium and with the 8th pick in the draft?
With the 8th pick. And hopefully I can get everything right out of that deal. But I am going to put a disclaimer on that it's not my fault if it doesn't work out.
You go rogue on him.
Bobby Heck.
Hadn't these guys, Bobby be screaming, what the bag are you doing?
Bobby Heck told me to take this guy.
Bobby Heck's going to be joining us tomorrow on the pregame and again during the game to talk about the upcoming. The baseball draft has gotten to be so much bigger the last few years than it used to be. Baby.
It's getting there. It sure is. Not quite what football is.
No.
Which is the biggest pain in the neck. It's almost worse than LeBron James, who I am so tired of hearing about. I know he's a great athlete and great, but I am sick and tired of hearing about LeBron James. But football is even worse, where Tim Tebow is going to go or whoever. I'm tired of that too. But at least baseball is kind of quiet. Here comes Lou.
Lou Piniella is making a move to a right-hander with the 8-3 lead. Marshall's done well. He's gotten 4 straight. And he's going to go to a righty.
He's got the luxury now with his 5-run lead that he could just use his bullpen. He needs the guy to get an inning or see a batter or two. He can do that.
He was probably going to turn Lance around anyway, so that's why I kept Marshall in there.
Well, he had 2 days off with the rain out and an off day, so he has some relievers who haven't worked in a while. It's 8-3. is coming in, and he worked an inning and a third. Didn't give up a hit last night or walk anybody, and he has an ERA of 0. Carlos Lee.
So much for our theory. He's going to get a chance to use guys who haven't pitched in a while.
Exactly.
Inning and a third last night, although he had a few days off prior to last night's outing.
Back out of play.
I guess if you're Lupinelli, you're not taking any chances.
Yeah.
Having dropped 4 in a row, his team is really struggling to score runs. To finally break through with an 8 spot here tonight. Doesn't want to let this one slip away, of course.
And no doubt, Jimmy, you're exactly right. That goes on in his head right now, going, I am not letting this game get out of hand. And this kid Stevens, as Jimmy and I were talking about before we came on the air, he throws across his body, so he's very difficult on right-handers. The good news for us is Carlos is a great hitter, so we have an opportunity here. But this kid looks like he's kind of tough the way he throws across his body.
He was drafted by Cincinnati, traded to Cleveland. The Cubs got him in another deal for Mark DeRosa. Throw to first base. Lee. It's Lee. After 8, it's 8-3 Cubs. Houston is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers and the 2010 F-150. By the Progressive Insurance Group and by Capital One. In downtown Houston, it's 8-3. The Cubs are trying to square this series, and they're trying to snap a 4-game losing streak. The Astros go to Wesley Wright for the 9th inning. Gustavo Chacin worked 1/3 of an inning, gave up 1 hit, no runs, and Wright has only pitched once with a 6.75 ERA. And we're talking a moment ago about the Cubs having pitchers who hadn't worked for a while. Wesley has not worked for a while either. He worked in the game at Cincinnati on May 29th.
We talked about the challenges for Brad Mills with a little bit of a short bench, just for bench players, but carrying the extra pitcher sometimes is the challenge as to how you're going to use that bullpen and make sure you get everybody work, keep as many guys involved and as sharp as possible.
Strike to Terrio.
One quick note that I don't normally do is the Phillies won tonight. Jamie Moore went 9 innings, and Jim Deshaies was sit here in the background. He was warming up his arm. He feel like that he can still pitch. Jamie Moore here 6-5 with a 3.98, and Jimmy's sitting there going, "I can do that."
Yeah,
no, I can't.
You can't.
He is my favorite guy in the world. What he is doing. He is 47 years of age. And with all the great pitching performances this year, the perfect games, no hitters, all the strikeouts. And still maybe the most impressive, the fact that he had a shutout against Atlanta earlier this year. The oldest, I believe the oldest pitcher ever to throw a complete game shutout.
That's right.
Back on May 7th. So 2 complete games for Jamie this year.
So Jimmy now is working on my left shoulder, and I'm trying to warm up. I can come back and be that 42-year-old lefty.
3-2.
Yeah, it was just a couple of years ago that I stopped having those dreams at night. You know, where's my glove? Where are my shoes?
I think I had my first baseball dream the other day in like 5 years.
Yeah.
I think I hit like a double or something like that.
I used to have the one where you're supposed to be warming up in the bullpen. The game's about to start, and you can't find your uniform, you can't find your spikes. And it's kind of like the one you used to. People have that dream about school where you can't find the classroom. You got a big test.
I couldn't find my arm.
Rip foul. 3-2 to Terrio.
Look at the big man square up on that ball.
Right.
Yeah, love that.
I mean, that was well played. Check it out.
The Riot's got nothing for
Check
him.
it out.
Take it. Take it.
Oh, yeah.
Right off the boiler.
Former third sacker.
Got it in the trapper.
Nice.
Terrio takes a walk.
He'll be at work at Monday showing that bruise on the right side of his body.
There's a mark right there, and he's
not even going to give it up right now.
Not going to acknowledge it.
No.
Tyler Colvin has a double and a 2-run homer in this game. Yeah, just thinking about earlier talking about comparing numbers with Colvin, and he compares very favorably with Fukudome for the number of at-bats he's had. Fukudome might be losing some playing time to this guy.
Brownie's got 6 homers and 15 RBIs and 79 at-bats coming into his, 80th right now. Those are pretty good numbers.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
And earlier this year when Soriano was having defensive problems, Colvin was getting a little time in left field, and then Soriano gets so hot with the bat that Crew had to play him.
Toss to right, just in time. They did have to hurry. Terrio the second one out.
First base umpire Porter is, to my knowledge, he's one of those roving, like a minor league guy called up to work a series here and there. I don't think he's part of a regular major league crew, but he's had a lot of tough calls tonight.
Wow.
Look how close that is. Yeah.
Really close.
And this is, as a first baseman, and I can remember doing this for years, I would sit there, and once I catch it, just like Lance is, I'm yelling, hurry, 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 hurry. Don't stop.
Yeah, go through the bag.
Because sometimes pitchers will stop. They slow up. Do not think that the runner is going to get there that quick.
Ball one to lead.
Now this is an at-bat right here, JD, where you got to be kind of a little bit careful. I know he's hitting 239 and Ramirez is hitting some, but you might want to try and be very, very careful. Do not give in to set up a double play right here. Q did that purposely so he could throw down the third base.
Lee has had an inflamed right thumb earlier this season. Took his own shot in that, but
those are fun.
It's running that's
looks kind of weird, Brownie, huh? Yeah.
You talk about Ramirez and his wrist problems. This is something that just about every hitter has to deal with at some point during the season, right?
No, it is. I mean, you're going to have certain situations and certain times throughout the year that you're going to be struggling. And you know what? It's okay. We can talk about it up here, but you got to battle through it.
Yeah. 3-1. You get jammed. You got to deal with that. You're playing every day. You don't have time to heal.
No, you don't. And I'm sorry, Marlon Bird's on deck, so I was wrong. Actually, now I'd be a little bit more nervous. Two good pitches right there.
Yeah. 3-2.
Kind of a freebie on 3-0. Lee was taking all the way, but the 3-1, he wasn't taking, but he made a quality pitch.
Bird has 3 straight hits, 2 of them doubles.
And to me, I would imagine right here, Derek Lee's probably thinking breaking ball, so we can bust him up somewhere. See?
Check him out.
He doesn't look right, guys.
No.
He really doesn't.
Might have a day off tomorrow. Well, there was a rumor, and for what it's worth, there's always rumors flying around Major League Baseball, but apparently the Angels have expressed some interest in Derek Lee with Kendry Morales hurt. Derek Lee's been such an important piece for the Cubs over the years. That's not a trade, obviously, that you make easily.
Well, that being said, you're basically, as a Cub, sitting there going, okay, we give in.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to set real good with new ownership, for one, and for their fan base.
point. There's strike one to Bird.
Although no matter what, their fan base is still going to be out there.
Yeah, that's the problem, though.
At Murphy's or whatever. Yeah.
Two.
Push right there, JB.
In the business of baseball, you have to respond to the paying public, but the execution of the game plan as to trades and who you bring in, who you release, things of that nature, you can't let the fans drive those decisions. You can't respond to all the call-in shows and all that noise.
Captain Feliz goes to his left. Takes the throw low. Berkman digs it. And that's the third out in the top of the ninth inning. No runs, no hits, and a man stranded. 8-3 Cubs. Ninth is coming. Pence, Feliz, and Manzella due up as Sean Marshall has pitched in this game, and then Stevens came in relief of Ryan Dempster. Dempster, the way it would appear to win number 4 of the year. Oswalt would be 3-8 unless the Astros can bring about a big reversal here in the bottom of the ninth inning. Stevens got lead to end the 8th. Now he faces Pence, who's 0-2 with a walk. Cardinals won it in the 11th, 5-4 over Milwaukee. Strike one. Albert Pujols hit a first inning homer, his 13th of the year. Ricky Weeks hit number 9.
Weeks led off that ball game with a home run. And Albert answered in the bottom of the inning.
Adam Ottavino started for St. Louis against Chris Narveson. Axford was the loser for Milwaukee, and Boggs got the win. It's 2 balls and a strike.
Reds keeping pace. They lead the Nationals 5-1. Nationals batting bottom of the 8th.
Nationals won last night as they got back home. 3 balls and a strike.
Hey, Dontrell Willis is pitching for the Diamondbacks tonight. He's got a 1-0 lead. Top of the 5th.
Don Trizzle.
3-2.
He was quite a phenomenon.
Yes, he was.
Years ago, huh? When he was with the Marlins. Packed that stadium.
Yes, he did. Can he get it back? Detroit took a big bite on his salary.
I think a lot of that has just been his control problems. He's had a hard time throwing strikes, and when you have a hard time throwing strikes, then you know what? When you used to throw 93, then you start throwing 87, 88 because you're just trying to throw it over the plate, and I think that's been part of his problem.
Castro. Yes, it was. He made 3 errors in one game, but a very young shortstop. Very talented.
tell you something about making 3 errors in one game, too. I was in spring training about, I'm so old now. I have no idea what it was. 6 years ago?
Yeah.
Playing Detroit. The first 2 balls hit to me, I booted. And one of them should have been a double error. I thought actually it was longer than that because Dirk was manager. I said, Dirk, get me out of this ball game. I said, I'm about to make 10 errors in one game. That's how players think. I'm telling you, I don't care how good. Well, maybe Vizquel doesn't make that or Ozzie Smith, but I want it out of there.
And did he oblige you?
Yes. I was out quick. But I did make another error the next inning, so I did have 3. I should have had 4.
Isn't that kind of like a hitting slump?
There's no doubt that there are fielding slumps. No doubt. That you sit there, and I don't care who you are. It could be Ozzie Smith. It could be Vizquel. It could be whoever the greatest guys are on the infield. Do not hit this ball to me. Maybe I shouldn't say that, but that's the truth.
Well, I understand. I mean, one. You get in a rhythm and you want the ball hit to you.
Oh, no doubt.
That's the other way, too. 3-2. Manziel is on deck. In the hole and on through past the diving Castro. And Feliz is 2 for 4 tonight. He's been having more and more multi-hit games lately.
Well, you've been saying that, Brownie, too. You know, there's Dirk right there. You know, you can get to a point where the jump on the ball is not the same as it normally is.
Yeah.
And the only reason I'm not picking on Ramirez at all, but generally he's a guy that's probably going to get pretty close to that ball right there, and he's just not getting there. Mm-hmm. Although that was sharply hit and it was a base hit, no doubt, but it works in a lot of different directions and how you get going. You know, you're struggling offensively, you're struggling defensively. It's just different.
Yeah, that's what makes this sport so difficult, isn't it?
I mean, I think so. I mean, I look at basketball and I say, you know, basketball obviously is very, very difficult, but you control what you do. A lot of times here, you don't control it. Mm-hmm. Jimmy's going to make a pitch on me. We're not going to talk much longer. Oh, no. He dropped that.
We can talk some more.
Yes, we can.
They blew the double play, or at least the force out. Ontario trying to be really quick, and he dropped it.
And maybe got a little greedy there. But, you know, it's the old adage, first guy short, second guy quick. So, and it looked like they had a shot at the double play. Manziel is churning hard out of the box to beat it. The Astros have scored more unearned runs than anybody in baseball. And given the fact that they've scored, well, I think the Pirates scored fewer runs than the Astros, but you know my point. They're down near the bottom of the pack in runs scored in all of Major League Baseball. So a high percentage of their runs scored unearned. Maybe you can take advantage of a big inning here.
And Terrell with Blum on deck. And Q ripped a homer last time up. There's strike one. Yeah, it speaks to aggressiveness both offensively and defensively, doesn't it, in this sport?
Well, it does. Even base running. When you lose confidence in what you're doing out there, even base stealers. I mean, it's
up the right field line toward the corner. That's the fair ball. And let's see if it stays in play. It does not. It's a double. Well, Quintero gets a second straight extra base hit. That makes it 8-4 with runners at second and third.
Oh, it's flying off his bat tonight.
It is. I'm going to keep talking to negative, too, because all this is starting to work out for us.
That's his 5th double, RBI number 7.
Finally, a ball down that right field line that Colvin can't track
wasn't
down.
there. Yeah. He was right there. I mean, stepping a dive, I think he would have had it.
Now Jeff Blum is a pinch hitter for Wesley Wright. And a 4-run lead. Meanwhile, Coy Hill walks out to the mound.
Carlos Marmol is the closer, and he's been very good this year. This now is the safe situation. Tying a run on deck in the person of Michael Bourne.
I bet we're going to see Lou here real quick.
And send Hill out there to buy a little time, and then Lou with that the Lou Stroll. It's going to take him a bit. We should put a clock on this.
He could just start warming up right now, and he'll be ready by the time Lou gets out there.
Here we go. 1001. He's going to wait till the very last. And
got it, Jimmy.
This is the amble right here, the Lou amble.
It'll take him about as long as Big Papi rounding the bases on a homer.
And he's not nervous about the white line either. Watch, he's going to walk right over top of it. Bam.
He's a beauty.
He's awesome.
And now he makes the move to Carlos Marmol. And the Astros have already announced Plum, so they can stay with him. It's 8-4. Back in a moment. Two men on. Pinch hitter Jeff Plum will be batting with one out in the bottom of the ninth inning. Marmol came in last night for some worked 2/3 of an inning, and he threw only 6 pitches in that game, JD.
Yeah, he's worked 25 times this year. He's 1-0. He's got 11 saves and 13 tries and a 1.40 ERA. But the numbers that really jump out at you, they're just crazy strikeout numbers. 51 Ks in 25 2/3 innings. So essentially 2 strikeouts per inning pitch. Which, if he maintains his pace, would be a record. Well, there was a time where Wags had the record.
Yes, it did.
13 per 9 or something like that. This guy's at 18 strikeouts per 9 innings pitched.
Litch got close too, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Jeff Plum is 1 for 8 against Carlos Marmol. 5 for 17 pinch hitting this year with 5 runs batted in. And there's strike one called to him. Jeff started last night at shortstop. He was 0 for 3 with a walk. Michael Bourne's on deck. And foul back, 0-2.
Marmol with that delivery, and we've talked about it a lot. We've seen him over the years, and he's been just absolutely dominant against the Astros. But the first thing you think, right, the way he kind of slings it up there, drops down a little bit. He's just going to chew up righties, but in terms of batting average, he's actually been better against left-handed hitters.
Rolled out to shortstop. Castro throws to first, and coming home, Manzella to make it 8-5 on out number 2.
Well, Jimmy, I think he kills those lefties with that slider down and in. That's a tough pitch for those lefties to handle.
Kind of sweeper at the back foot.
Yeah.
See if Michael Bourne gets one.
How about a bloop and a bomb right here?
That sounds like a plan. Keppinger on deck.
There's a bloop. I think they're going to catch the bloop.
Yeah.
Castro makes the grab behind Ramirez. And the Cubs have snapped their 4-game losing streak. They also have ended the Astros' 4-game winning streak. Final score, Cubs 8, Astros 5.